I welcome you in this chess video. In this video, we are going to learn about pawn movement and its rules. So let's get started. So pawn moves only one step in forward direction. Okay? And pawn cannot move sideways. Pawn cannot move backward. So pawn cannot move backward, even sideways. Let's know that. And we need to know that when pawn is at its home base, then it has the option of moving two steps if it wants, or even one step. So pawn can move two steps from its home base. But how does a pawn capture? So we need to know that pawn can only capture slanting, but only one step. But pawn cannot capture like as many square it wants like a bishop. Okay? So pawn only capture one step slanting direction. So this is how a pawn capture. So let's solve some puzzles of pawn. So here we can see that pawn can move one step. So let's move it ahead. One step, and now let's see what happens if pawn reaches the last rank. Okay. Wow. Here we can take any piece we want. So let's know that when pawn reaches the last rank, it gets the power to become a queen, to become a knight, to become a rook, or to become a bishop. Okay, and this is called as pawn promotion. So I'll take the most powerful chessman, queen, and now we can capture the star here. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so if this pawn wants to capture sleeping line, we know that pawn cannot capture sleeping line. Let's try. Is it working? No, that's not possible. So let's move it ahead. Okay, and now I'll take the most powerful chessman, that is queen. And we know how does a queen move. Queen can capture like a rook, a bishop. Okay, let's do that. Now we cannot capture any star, so queen has to come in pawn's range and then capture. Let's do that. Okay, so this is how queen can capture. Okay, by the way, we are doing pawn movement, so let's keep that in mind. Okay, and now here we can see the pawn moves one step, and now here we can see the pawn can capture slanting one step. Okay, so when any star or any piece is in its pawn's range, one step slanting, that's the only time the pawn can capture. Okay, and now here we have a lot of stars. One star is straight, one star is slanting. But do you think that pawn can capture straight? Okay, if you told no, then you are right. Let's try if that's possible. See, that's not possible. Pawn cannot capture straight. Pawn can only move straight. But we can capture slanting. Let's do that. And now we can move one step. And pawn can capture any one slanting because both are at one step. Let's do that. We can capture this star. Now let's make a queen. We know that when pawn reaches the last rank, it gets into any piece it wants. Okay. Okay. Oh, here we have a lot of stars. Let's capture one by one. This is slanting. We can capture it. Slanting, 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 slanting. We got a queen. Now let's capture this one. Okay. And here we have a lot of stars. Okay. We can capture slanting. Even this star isn't slanting. Let's capture it. Even this star isn't slanting. Let's capture it. And now this pawn cannot capture sleeping, and no pawn is in slanting. So we'll move this pawn one step and then come in slanting to capture the star. Okay, let's do it. Now we can capture it. And now even this pawn can come one step up and then capture. Let's do that. And now we can capture it. And now here we can see pawn is at its home base. That means the pawn can move two steps from home base, and then we can move one step to capture it. Okay, let's do that. And now we can move one step and then capture. Okay, that's right. Okay, so let's capture one by one. Slanting, slanting. We'll capture all of them which are slanting. Let's do that. Okay, slanting. Okay, and now we can move two steps and then capture. Okay, even here we can move two steps and then capture. Okay, and now even here we can move two steps and then capture. Okay, so finally we have done it. Okay, so let's know that pawn can only move one step at a time. When pawn is at its home base, it can move two steps from its home base, and pawn can only capture one step slanting in forward direction. And most importantly, pawn has a special power. When it reaches the last rank, it can turn into any piece except pawn and king, and this is called as pawn promotion. So that's all in this video, and see you in next video. Thank you.